There are films that entertain you. There are films that challenge you. And then there is Taksikab, a film that doesn't feel like entertainment at all. It feels like emotional exposure. Released during the rise of Philippine indie cinema in the early 2010s, Taksikab became known for its raw performances, explicit sexuality, fragmented storytelling, and unfiltered depiction of urban life. But underneath all of that, the film is not really about sex or shock or scandal. It is about something far more uncomfortable: loneliness, dependency, and the slow emotional collapse of people trying to survive inside a city that never stops moving. From the beginning, the film makes its tone clear. This is not a romantic version of Manila. The city here is humid, overcrowded, noisy, and emotionally exhausting. Streets are tight. Lighting is harsh. Spaces feel temporary. Everything feels like it is breaking down slowly in real time. Manila is not just a setting. It behaves like a force. It pushes people together, then quietly separates them again. And at the center of that movement is a taxi, a small enclosed space where strangers briefly collide, confess, bleed emotionally, then disappear back into the city. The taxi becomes a moving confessional, and every ride feels like a temporary emotional crisis. At the center of this world is David, a taxi driver played with intense emotional realism by Christopher King. David is not a simple character. He is not a hero. He is not a victim. He is someone unraveling emotionally while clinging to the one person who makes him feel seen. That person is Bodji, a male escort who represents escape, distance, and a life David cannot fully reach. Their connection is the emotional core of the film, but it is not a healthy connection. It is obsessive, uneven, fragile, and deeply unstable. David is jealous, possessive, reactive, sometimes even destructive. But the film never reduces him into a stereotype. Instead, it shows something more uncomfortable: a person whose emotional behavior is shaped by fear. The fear of being left behind, the fear of being replaced, the fear of having no emotional anchor at all. And that fear slowly becomes the engine of his collapse. What makes Taksikab stand out in Philippine indie cinema is how it portrays queer desire, not as fantasy, not as identity celebration, but as lived survival. There are no polished love arcs here, no inspirational transformation, no clean emotional resolution. Desire exists inside poverty, inside survival work, inside transactional intimacy, where affection and money and need all overlap in uncomfortable ways. The film refuses to glamorize anything. Instead, it shows how people adapt emotionally when life gives them very few safe choices. And that is what makes the relationships feel so raw. Not because they are extreme, but because they feel unprotected. The structure of the film also reflects this emotional instability. Instead of following a single linear story, Taksikab moves through interconnected lives. Characters overlap, separate, re-enter each other's worlds, and leave emotional damage behind. It feels like a chain reaction. One person's loneliness triggers another person's desperation. One decision leads to another collapse somewhere else. Everyone is connected, but nobody is stable. Nobody is fully held. And even in crowded spaces, everyone remains emotionally alone. This sense of contradiction defines the entire film. Manila is full of people, but emotionally empty, full of movement, but stuck in cycles, full of connection, but lacking real intimacy. And the film never tries to fix that contradiction. It just observes it. There is also a quiet political backdrop running through the film. The story unfolds during the inauguration of President Benigno Aquino III. On television and in public rhetoric, there is talk of hope, progress, a new beginning for the country. But in the world of the film, nothing changes. The characters remain in the same emotional and economic conditions, still struggling, still surviving, still repeating the same cycles. That contrast is never explained. It is simply there, and that silence makes it even sharper. Because while the nation speaks of optimism, the film shows people who never get access to it. Now, Taksikab is not an easy film to watch. It is emotionally heavy, sometimes suffocating, often uncomfortable. There is very little relief, very little softness, and almost no traditional resolution. But that intensity is not accidental. The film is designed to keep you inside that emotional pressure, to prevent escape, to mirror the experience of its characters. Because for them, there is no clean exit either. A major reason the film works at all is Christopher King's performance as David. He brings unpredictability to every scene. One moment quiet, the next volatile, sometimes vulnerable, sometimes self-destructive, but never artificial. Even when David becomes difficult to watch, there is still something deeply human underneath him. A need to be held, a need to matter, a need not to be abandoned. And that is what keeps the character grounded instead of turning him into a cliché. In the end, Taksikab stands as a snapshot of a specific era in Philippine independent cinema, a time when filmmakers were willing to take risks, to show characters that mainstream cinema often ignored, to embrace emotional discomfort instead of avoiding it, and to tell stories that felt unfiltered, imperfect, and real. Today, the film still lingers not because it is easy to watch, but because it is honest about something most films avoid. That love alone is not always enough. That connection can be unstable, and that sometimes the people we cling to the hardest are also the ones we are slowly losing. And that is what Taksikab ultimately leaves behind. Not answers, not closure, but a question that stays long after the film ends. What happens when the only thing keeping someone emotionally alive is also the thing slowly breaking them apart?